Okay, so actor Hank Azaria is apologizing for voicing Apu on The Simpsons. Last year, Hank stepped down from voicing the character after more than 30 years. He faced backlash over the fact he is white and the character is Indian. The 2017 documentary, The Problem with Apu, looks at how some Indian Americans thought the character portrayed a negative stereotype about Indian people. Speaking on the Armchair Expert podcast, Hank said he took time to educate himself about structural racism and is sorry for being a part of the problem. Have a listen.
I was unaware of how much relative advantage I had received in this country as a white kid from Queens. I didn't think about this stuff because I never had to.
Yeah.
And there were very good intentions on all of our part. And we tried to do a funny, thoughtful character. And just because there were good intentions doesn't mean there weren't real negative consequences to the thing that I am accountable for.
Okay, so Al, you are a comic, and are you a fan of The Simpsons? Let me just ask you before.
The biggest laughs I've ever gotten watching TV just by myself are from The Simpsons. And I did the Young Comedians Montreal Comedy Festival with the guy that did this documentary. It's my boy Hari. He's hilarious.
Okay, so knowing that, what did you think about Hank's apology? And do you think, in your opinion, should white people ever voice characters who are minorities?
Do you guys remember Scantron? I taught middle school for years. They always had, like, D would be, you know, always and never, and you would always get rid of those. I don't want to ever say what white people should never do. Why? What? How do we know if it hasn't come up yet? What I did love about his answer, Sam and Jeff and Erica, is that he showed that you can have two thoughts in your head. We were trying to be funny. We thought this was going to be great. Turns out it hurt a lot of people, so we stopped it. Both can be true. It doesn't mean that when he left his house that day, he was like, I'm going to show Indian people how I really feel. He didn't say that. He was like, I took a swing. I thought it was funny. Some people were hurt, so we fixed it. And I think if we started looking at a lot of issues like that we don't have to demonize one side to move forward, I think we can move forward a lot faster.
I agree with the idea that it provokes conversation, right? Because at the end of the day, most people don't know a voiceover actor. We at this table probably know a whole bunch of them. And the truth is, when we have these conversations, and I've sat down with a couple voiceover actors for my podcast, and we talked about this black and brown voice, the idea that there is only a very small percentage of material work out there for black and brown people specifically to audition for. And the reason why I'm saying specifically is because they'll get an agent or a manager who doesn't put them up for any other roles than ones that call for specifically black and brown talent. Now, on the flip side of that, white voiceover actors, if they can play the part, can still dip over into the black and brown voiceover territory. And that's a conversation that most people would never think of or be privy to. But through this conversation and the fact that someone's coming out and taking accountability, and that doesn't mean they need to be burned at the stake, he's taking accountability. It's opening up this conversation, and we're talking about it now so that that can be rectified within the industry.
Love it. Love the conversation.